What's up, everyone? Welcome to X-Ray slash a Lego build, where Hilo
Hilo
just
just,
walked in with a bone.
oh, great.
So that's perfect timing. So we're kind of mixing our after show for Skeleton Crew with a Lego build because it's Thursday, and yesterday was Christmas, and everything is out of whack. So
And you got a new Lego set.
and Molly got me the Onyx Cinder. So it felt appropriate to press pause on Jabba's sail barge and press play on the Onyx Cinder and build that. So, and now I have to take a bone away from Hilo and make him sad.
Oh, poor Hilo. He thought we were done in here, and he brought his bone in here.
Oh.
But yeah, this is kind of weird because I'm used to doing the Lego streams in here, but we just got back to doing them, and now I don't normally use StreamYard for the Lego stream, so everything is very different. And if I mess something up, that's why.
It'll work. It'll be great. Oh,
But
you can give Wim a shocked face as if he were holding a lightsaber upside down.
Oh, I should have used that to help me with my drawing.
Well, don't spoil anything.
I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Welcome to, what are we calling this stream?
X-Ray?
Lego Ray.
Lego Ray.
Lego X-Ray. What's up, Lightspeed? We've got our channel members in here. Lightspeed. John DeLong, Jeannie from Tahini, Mr. Doctor, Andy Fing. What's up, everybody? Hi, Sean Sully.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everyone.
Oh, I should have changed and put shorts on. It's hot in here.
Me too. Oh, Wim's like a little top heavy. There we go.
One nice thing, though, about doing this in here with StreamYard is I can bring up the comments, which I can't normally do on Lego streams. So I'll bring this one up from Mr. Doctor. Really think Rened is related to Neil. I know it would be a giveaway, but my only reservation is 33 hasn't been like, oi, you look like me old captain.
We have been discussing the potential of there being another one of Neil's species involved in all of this, because there was the elephant-like statue in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
There's King No Head. There's, even though I have other thoughts about Rened, there's like a couple frames where if you're a dork and you go frame by frame, it looks like you can see a weak way features, not a face, but he does look a little bit like Hondo. It's not Hondo, but he looks like a weak way pirate. But yeah, some connection to Neil's species, because it is strange that we've only seen Neil's species on at Atten and none of them were on at Akron.
Right. But there was that King No Head that we were thinking might also be his species. But
right.
Yeah, I'm still really confused about all the captain stuff, but we'll get into all that here shortly.
Well, I wrote down some talking points.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want to go ahead and dive into questions, we can, but I figured we'd run through the episode quickly.
Excuse me.
It's just the two of us, and we've talked about it extensively, but still, what were your overall thoughts about this episode?
I liked it. I don't think it's my favorite of the bunch. It just, a lot of these episodes I feel like are ending on pretty crazy cliffhangers where I'm like, oh, I would have liked to just have a little tiny bit more to show us like what's happening next. I guess this one, the cliffhanger in this one made more sense to me than the last couple of ones, but this one was fine.
This one was my favorite of the bunch. It ended and I was like, I loved that. Very, very happy with it. But I do agree that it's still just these heavy serialized series aren't like what we're used to as classic TV shows. Like, I still wish one day we could just get a show that's like Battlestar Galactica, where there is an overarching plot, but every episode is kind of its own thing. So I don't know, that might just be something that never happens again thanks to the streaming wars.
Sure. Yeah, like I don't know why I feel like I don't love this episode as much as everybody else. It was fine, but I don't know. I'm waiting for like the kids to have a really fun moment.
I can't believe you hated this episode.
They're so scared. I did really like Cathalops.
Cathalops, yeah.
Cathalops. That was a crazy looking creature that I don't think we've ever seen before.
I loved how weird this episode was.
Yeah.
Just like a hut eating the little Trogloff, and then Cathalops, Munes with towels on their heads. Mm-hmm. And you pointed out that Cathalops also had a towel on his head. And I was like, that's hilarious.
I think that's what that is.
I think you're right. They have giant towels for giant creatures. It makes sense, but like, I love that.
Just a continuing gripe that I have with all the Disney Plus shows is just how dark they are.
Like visibly.
Yeah. I could barely see, like, if I take a screenshot of Cathalops and like pull it over in Premiere and like brighten it up, then I'm like, oh wow, I would have been a lot more impressed with that had I been able to see it, you know? Yeah, I know. Why do I hate Star Wars? It's my turn this week to be the one that, because I didn't love it, I hate it.
Now you hate it. Now this is like, it follows my pattern for these things where they do feel like, it still feels like a long movie to me, but now that we're like halfway through the movie, I'm like, yes, I'm very into this story. It feels like I have to do that for just about every series that we've had.
I guess one other thing that led to me maybe not enjoying it as much as everyone else did, I still want to know more about KB.
Yeah.
We are just really stringing this along as to like what her motivations are. We got another little like breadcrumb of why she might be wearing the visor, or like why she's nervous to maybe take it off. But I just feel like they've really put her aside compared to the other kids.
That's my primary criticism of the show, is that just we don't know much about KB as like who she is at her core.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we do with the other characters. But I'm excited at the prospect of them maybe potentially finally showing us something.
She'll get her moment, I think, eventually, which is fine. It's just like little stuff like that, because like you said, it feels like a movie that's been chopped up. I feel like if it had been released as a movie, these kind of things wouldn't be bugging me.
It's one of those things where like John Watts did say the original story pitch was for a movie. So like having that knowledge, I'm like, yep, that makes sense.
I think this would have worked better as a movie, but that's just me.
Want to show off our sketches since you already mentioned what you drew?
Oh yeah, let's do that. So I just drew mine and it took me like 5 minutes. So
we rushed our drawings, but yours still looks great.
It's fine. It's not a masterpiece, but I had to draw Wim igniting the lightsaber upside down. That moment of comedy was pure gold. I loved that part. It was so funny. Let me see if I can get it bigger.
I love that it was funny, but also heartbreaking. Like you were talking about this earlier, just pointing out that he looks so broken and ashamed and so has to
embarrassed.
And like I felt a little bad for laughing at him, but it was funny. But it also is like this big epic moment where I'm like, yes, Wim, yes, take up the lightsaber, take up the weapon of heroes and save your friend. And of course he ignites it upside down. He's an 8-year-old child that has never held one before. It's great.
Yeah.
Excuse you, Hilo. All right, you can.
And now Jod has the lightsaber.
Right. Oh, we'll talk about that. I drew just one of the weirdest scenes I could think of.
Oh, that looks great. Oh, your Jabba, or that's not Jabba, but your hut looks really good.
Oh, thank you. I like that has made me laugh. I've seen the episode 3 times now, and it's just so delightfully weird to be like the fact that I can't get over the fact that the Trogloff says, "Not again."
Yeah.
Like, have you been eaten before? And
We were
spat out or passed through? Like, what happens to this poor man?
I saw some people online on social media talking about maybe he just like wiped his mouth with him or built something else. But we watched the episode again today, and like as the camera is panning out, his mouth is open,
and he burps.
And after the camera pans completely away, he burps. So I think we are to assume that he's like eaten him, or at least put him in his mouth before.
And also, like, the guy brings food over, and the Hutt kind of looks at the food and goes, nah, and grabs him. And so either he's like, not again, as in not another attendant eaten, but he doesn't act like he's that scared. He's just like, this, like, same day, same poodoo, different day. Like, I feel like he has been eaten and pooped out of a hut before, and he survives the process, and that's got to be terrible.
I mean, I'm trying to think, like, we've seen Jabba put like a little frog in his mouth and then spit it out.
Yeah, bit its head off though.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know.
But that's I love that we're talking about it. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. Universal says the lightsaber in episode 5 is from Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, is it one you can buy?
Maybe it's like one of the designs.
Might be up on Doc Ondar's wall or something. I don't recognize the pieces.
Well, those pieces, first of all, they have new pieces now that we probably haven't seen, and there's like a bunch of different combinations of pieces. True. So I could totally see them using that, being like, you can build that. All right. Do you have more you want to talk about, or do you want to get into some questions?
Sure. Let's run through the episode as if this were a normal.
Yeah, we didn't do a guest this week because we've just been busy for the holidays, and I figured everyone else was busy, so
we'll just do it fast. I'm glad we checked in with the parents.
Yeah, me too. I was hoping we would see a little bit more of like just what Wendell does day to day, but I guess we don't really have time to go into that too far.
I mean, I think that's kind of part of the mystery. Mm-hmm. But I like seeing that, okay, the parents are working on a plan of their own. I love the cobbled together device that Neil's mom had, because that just felt very E.T. speak and spell, like, let's make something weird that works.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it. Also looked like a crazy like hackers kit.
I like that Wendell is bad at being sneaky, and
yeah, he probably hasn't broken any rules for most of his life.
It just kind of reminded me of Wim's moment later, that they're both trying to be heroic, but they're bad at it, and he's like sweating his way through all of it and like, show me your hand, show me both of your hands, sir.
yeah at the same time.
I liked all that. But that was one thing. I loved episode 4, but I did wish that we got just a check-in with the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of same with the pirates. I was glad that the pirates are back. I thought that the way they were brought back into the story was good. Just having someone else that Jod has wronged recognize him and call in the bounty.
Oh yeah, and we got another name for him.
So close to Dash Rendar. Dash Zinton.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also got Jod Zanwick later on.
Yeah. He's got a lot of passports.
Oh, I didn't pull the stickers out for this.
That's my one thing.
That's my job. What else? Oh, I wanted to talk about Wim and Jod's scene together, where Jod does,
where he's crying. Wim is crying, and Jod comes into the room and is kind of like, "Oh, gross! I'm gonna just leave now." And he tries to leave like 2 or 3 different times, and it takes Wim mentioning that he isn't going to see his mother. And I think that's when Jod realizes that, like, oh, I guess his mom is dead, so I should probably go talk to this kid.
This is like, I feel like Jod was being genuine in that moment. I actually do think you can put that sticker. on that. I think Jod genuinely felt bad for Neil, probably related to him. And then he's not like spitting out Jedi Force platitudes like he was in episode 3. His talk about attachments, your focus determines your reality. I'm like, okay, now he's saying real Jedi stuff.
This felt a lot more genuine coming from him.
So yeah, I'm really curious. That had me more believing, okay, I think he was a Padawan that survived, lost his master, his parent figure,
Mm-hmm.
and then took the whole attachments thing in the complete opposite, like wrong direction.
Yeah.
And saying, no attachments, great. I won't let myself care about anyone, and I'll only care about gold, and I'll become a pirate, and I'll have a billion names to hide my identity. Makes some sense to me.
Yeah, I do think that he took that idea from however old he was when he was learning these Jedi things of attachments are bad, and he just ran with it into adulthood and is still like, I can't have attachments, so I'm just going to be a pirate and pillage and plunder and just like hop around as I please throughout life and not make any genuine friends or family.
I feel like the word attachment is not what the Jedi should be using. That because it's more to me about possessiveness and like Anakin having friendships and connections to Ahsoka and Obi-Wan and Padme. We see it over and over in the Clone Wars that they help him until he lets it all go too far and he can't let go of them. He wants to possess them. And that's when it becomes a big problem. So I feel like people should stop saying, like the Jedi should stop saying no attachments. It's like, it's more like don't possess people.
Mm-hmm.
You should connect to people because your relationships make you stronger.
I made the comparison in our watch along today that we recorded for Patreon. If you're a patron, you can get those now. It's like telling a nun you can't have any friends.
Right.
He's learned kind of the wrong lesson here from his Jedi teachings.
Then we just have really the traps, which were super fun.
Oh yeah, the booby traps in Star Wars, which we haven't really seen a ton of, especially not in live action.
Yeah, all I could think of was like the Bad Batch. They did several kind of Indiana Jones-ish episodes.
Yeah. That first one, or I don't know if this was the first one. The first one we saw may have been the decapitating one.
Yes.
The other one that we saw where it's like the white lights and it like picks you up and pushes you up into the spikes. That was so cool.
I love that.
It reminded me so much of like a Close Encounters kind of thing with the lights. It was just like, we've never seen something like that really in Star Wars.
Why did they give me all these extra pieces? That's why.
Super Goonies. Yeah, definitely felt like Goonies. We talked about how in some trailers we see the kids going down kind of like a slide, which we are assuming is where that little trap door goes down. And that made me think of the water slide from Goonies.
Yep.
We've got some questions piling up. Should we get to some of those?
I think that's, I mean, talk about Jod's turn.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll talk about that with questions. So
it was interesting, and you pointed this out, that he kind of, as soon as he realizes he doesn't need anything else from these kids, that's when he makes that turn. And he's kind of like, all right, enough playing around. I could have done this as soon as I got on the ship, like done the captain code thing. But he waited because he needed to get some more information out of the kids about At-Aten and any possible treasure. But okay, let's get into some questions.
Okay, the last thing I was going to say about all of that is there's a scene where he gets fed up with the kids when they're kind of they're having a pillow fight and he's stressed out, and you can just see him, he's so annoyed at having to take orders from these children and he wants to get over it. So he like breaks and yells at them. So yeah, once he realizes, okay, I have everything I need, time to ditch the kids. And I thought it was such a simple thing to be like, I challenged the captain. And I was like, of course you could do that. Like, I didn't even cross my mind, but they set all of that up episodes ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, good stuff. Let's do some questions.
Okay. Danamaniac has the first couple. Oh, it's got 2 questions, and they became a channel member. So thank you, Dan. I assume your name is Dan and not Danamaniac.
It's Mr. Maniac, please.
Oh, I keep forgetting I can bring these up now. Wild how Disney princesses are always bounty hunters in Star Wars. Fitting that it's Mulan and Merida who are most comfortable with weapons. Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
I forgot Ming-Na Wen voiced Mulan.
Yeah, I like that.
We've never seen Brave.
Nope.
Right?
I've not seen it.
We should probably see that.
Yeah, I loved Pocket.
Yeah. Her character design is so cool.
Character design, her voice. I was all about it. I was like, I want to know more about you instantly. This is like Aura Singh all over again.
Yeah. Oh, and then we kind of touched on this earlier. Danamaniac says, what are the odds Neil is related to Renard? Is it Renard or Renaud?
They said it both ways.
Okay.
I don't think...
I don't know if they're related. I'm still very iffy on if he is even Neil's species, because I keep thinking that the captain is the one that was stabbed on the ship.
I still think that is the most... That's what I'm choosing to believe for now, but I am prepared to learn that SM-33 had a memory override or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder if Renard is dead, but maybe the first mate made it out alive. Renard crashed the ship, and either his first mate or his concubine survived the crash.
Yeah.
And then they went out onto Adatin. That's something I could see, but there do seem to be clues.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have been harder to hide Neil's species, an adult man, like we've seen what they look like now with tusks and a longer trunk. I think the recording would have reflected that a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't think Renard is one of Neil's species, but I do kind of think there is a connection somehow.
Mm-hmm. Ann Porkins asks, what's a concubine?
Story time's stream's over. Shut it down. That was great.
Yeah. Talking about her species, she's got to be either Umbaran or what's the other one?
Cage.
I could see either one being fine. Umbarans are usually bald, but I was like, what if she's wearing a wig? What if she just wanted a nice, thick little...
That's a great wig.
Braid.
But you've shown me how far wig technology has come.
Oh, it's seamless now.
I think Umbaran is the most likely answer. My fingers are crossed for Cage just because I think that's cool. But they tend to have yellow eyes or purple eyes or something. She has like Umbaran eyes for sure.
Yeah.
And Umbarans can have hair. I did look that up.
If they try really hard.
Yeah. But I can do it. But it is difficult.
Let's see. I read that.
You can unstar them.
Yeah. I keep forgetting how this works. Strigan Kid has the next super chat. I doubt we'd see it in the show, but with all the pirate activity, I wonder if the Liberty's misrule from the Aftermath books is still kicking around.
Oh, that'd be fun.
What's that?
That is...
I did not read that.
I'm trying to remember the name of the pirate that took over a Star Destroyer and renamed it Liberty's Misrule. So there's pirates out there with a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
And that happens like right after Endor. So it's probably around, and it would be cool to see a Star Destroyer with that black and gray color scheme. I would like to see that, but not expecting it. But hey, Cobb Vanth is like the same. This story was told in interludes, so it would be about on the level of Cobb Vanth.
Sure. I don't know if he's still here, but Lightspeed had to leave and just said, bye. Hope you guys had a great holiday.
Thanks, Jacob. You too.
Thanks, Jacob. Yeah, I do wonder if there's a lot more pirate-related Easter eggs that we just aren't catching. I just think that would be cool.
I agree. It would be very cool.
Power Rangers Explain. Thanks for the next one. Merry Christmas and happy second night of Hanukkah. Happy Christmas and Hanukkah, everybody.
We are going to our final show of Dad's Garage Invasion Christmas Carol tomorrow, and they're doing a Hanukkah night. Which we've never made it to a Hanukkah night before.
Oh yeah, we did 2 nights that we hardly ever get to do this year, which was Pride Night and Hanukkah night. So that's really fun. Yeah, I'm excited. We've got some friends coming in town, or they're already in town, but they're from out of town, and we're going to take them to a show tomorrow night. So that'll be fun. Literal Table 756. Imagine if Wim stabbed his own foot too.
Oh, I was so scared.
What if he ended up with a peg leg?
Oh,
that would be so sad, but kind of cool too. Like he'd have a sick story to tell in school.
My initial response to that happening was to like scream. I was worried that he was about to cut his leg off or something, but relieved it just scared him, and then it was funny.
Yeah. If Wim was hiding, or if Wim was holding the saber upside down, it's impressive he pushed the button. Yeah, I want to know where the button is on that saber now.
I like that the saber, it did kind of have the same little flare on both sides. I was like, you can get that confused.
Oh, this goes way back in LEGO Stream lore, but I forget which set it was, but I was putting together the Lego and I put together the lightsaber and I put the blade in the wrong hole, apparently, because apparently there's a right and a wrong side, and you made fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I like this side better.
I really don't think it matters, but
both sides have holes. So I was like, well, it could go either way.
It's funny when they like zoom in on the lightsaber shot. I was like, the emitter looks awfully strange, but oh well. So like I had that thought a split second before he turned it on.
Orange Grove 55 just says, much love, Star Wars Explained.
Thank you.
Thank you. Matthew Byron, thank you for the super chat. Who will receive this message from the parents? Oh, well, okay. This isn't really a spoiler because it's been in the trailer. But we see the cockpit of the Onyx Cinder playing a message from Fern's mother. And I was so confused by that when I first saw it in the trailers because I was like, the inside of the ship looks kind of clean and almost new. So I was like, maybe we see a flashback, but then it's Fern's mom, so that doesn't make sense. But you pointed out that as soon as they land the Onyx Cinder, there's like a cleaning crew there, so maybe they clean it up.
Well, it like dumps a bunch of sludge on the platform, and the hotel manager is like, get a cleaning crew up here. And then later when the pirates are landing, you see a dude like holding a pressure washer.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, the cleaning crew got there. Maybe they cleaned up the ship and the inside and everything.
I would love that if they cleaned it up. But yeah, I assume the pirates are going to get the message. And
it looks like in the trailer, it's pirates that are listening to that.
And like, I don't know if Jod, he wouldn't still have that helmet, would he?
Maybe. I mean, it could just be like a Kylo Ren thing where he left it on Starkiller Base, but then he has it later.
It almost looks like he's in that shot wearing the helmet.
I think Jod will see the message, hopefully feel a little bit of guilt. Like, I do think he's going to, you know, turn it around. He's basically Han Solo with the Force, like maybe a little worse.
Maybe because we've been also talking about like how do the kids get back home now? Like, is Jod going to take the ship and leave? Maybe when he gets the message, he decides that they should get the kids and like they hold a ransom or something for them.
Maybe. I definitely think Jod is going to quickly become good again. Like, I think he's probably a Padawan that has been using the Force for ill and might, now that he's holding a lightsaber again, it'd be nice if he actually used it for good by the end of the season.
Yeah. Agreed. CC Pruitt, thanks for the super chat. I like turtles. Hope the holidays treated you all well. Do you all enjoy Wait, did you enjoy all the booty in this episode? Yes.
I love booty.
We did.
I still need to go
booby trapped booty.
Booby trap booty.
That's hard to say.
I need to go back and look through all of the treasure and just see if there's anything familiar, like in the wide shots. Every time I see a room like that, I'm like, oh, I want to see the Ryloth arc again.
Yeah.
I love when it pops up in random places.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
It's hard to even see specific stuff in the room. Callum Reed has the next one. If her parents are Gary and Mary, is KB like KABEE?
She's listed in the credits as KB, but maybe that stands for Carrie Berry.
Gary. That's like such a
I saw that name in the credits, or both of those names, and thought that it meant that was Neil's parents.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Gary and Mary, that's hilarious. Like, that's a funny way to spell very normal names.
Right.
The fact that it's KB's mom's, I'm like, Gary. Gary. It could be Gary.
I think it is pronounced Gary, Marie, KB. I don't know. But
could be.
Maybe, yeah, her full name is spelled out like that.
It's Carrie Berry.
Carrie Berry. Danny Maniac has another one. Watch Jod's name be like John Smith or something.
Yeah, just a normal. He was like, it's a boring name. Had to keep making up another name till it stuck.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll ever figure out his real name.
I think we will. Like, they've made such a big deal of it now that look at all these fake names. I think at some point he will tell them what his real name is, and then whether or not they trust him and believe that's his real name, who knows?
Let's see. 09 Scherzo asks, is there any canon info on the IGBC Mune Scipio? What?
Intergalactic Banking Clan. What do we know about the Banking Clan and Munes and everything after the Clovis arc? So I was kind of surprised to hear.
Were they in the Clovis arc?
Yeah.
Okay.
That snowy planet that, like, Imbo comes and attacks them, and they go sledding down the mountain, and Imbo slides on his hat like a boss. That's all. Yeah. That's all on Scipio. So I was kind of surprised that they were still in charge of the Banking Clan, because Palpatine takes over all the banks at the end of that arc. And it's
Maybe he takes over, but still has the Munes working for
like
him.
he is in control of it. So I guess the banking clan just fell into the Empire, and then the Empire dissolved, and the New Republic probably just let them keep going, even though they were separatists and kind of bad.
I mean, the fact that they're even there, maybe they're not allowed to do much. They're just on the spa planet.
They're just hanging out. I figured it was like a company retreat where they're like, we're going to take everyone's money in the galaxy and we're going to go treat ourselves.
They're having like synergy meetings, figuring out how to be more productive. Yeah, Matthew Byron says, it's the year of the Mune cameos. First Acolyte, now Skeleton Crew. They were so cute with their little towels on their heads because I was like, they don't have hair?
Yeah.
Why is the towel there?
Everyone wearing towels was hilarious.
I mean, maybe they just keep the towel wrapped on their heads so that when they get hot, because they're in a hot spring, they can like take it off and wipe away the sweat. I don't know. It doesn't need a reason.
They just want towels.
Dave McHugh says Cap's voice, uncredited. Brendan Gleeson, maybe? His sons are in Star Wars, and Carrie Condon shot a film with Brendan Gleeson around the same time, 2022. So maybe not crazy.
That'd be fun. Although I really still want Brendan Gleeson to be Armitage Hux at some point. We've seen him as Hux at this point already, Armitage during this time period. But if we jump into the future, I would love Brindle Hux, sorry. I'd love for Brindle Hux to be played by Brendan Gleeson.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome. Ice, thanks for the super chat. Hey, all. Hope everyone had a happy and safe Christmas. We did. Skeleton Crew has been a fantastic way to spend the holidays, and this episode was the perfect thing to get on Christmas Eve. Sorry to sound like a broken record, but it keeps getting better and better.
I mean, I agree.
It's true. I mean, despite me, I guess, feeling a little less enthusiastic about this episode, I still am really enjoying the show as a whole, and I am like, every time we get a new episode, I'm really excited to like see what happens next. And yeah, this whole show has been like a breath of fresh air, just really lighthearted and fun, perfect for the holidays. O9 also asks, do you think Card could be introduced in this show?
Talon Card?
Kaarde.
Probably not. Like, that doesn't seem like what this show is doing.
No, we're not getting any like big, like not Easter eggs, but like cameos from people just because, like, what's his character? Is he a pirate?
Yeah, I mean, he's like a noble smuggler, noble pirate. He starts the Smugglers Alliance, which is a big deal in the Thrawn campaign. Like, that's something Thrawn doesn't predict, is that some of the scum and villainy faction would come together to fight him, and they show up at the final battle. But no, I'm really not expecting Skeleton Crew to connect much with the rest of the Mandoverse.
No, I don't think so either.
Maybe it will.
If it hasn't by now, I don't know if it's going to make any huge connections.
We don't know how they get back to At-Atten, so maybe they just run into
Carson Teva is there with a towel on his head.
Okay, I mean, I'm all for that. Carson Teva, I would be totally fine if he popped up.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting Luke or Chewie to be at the spa.
Ken Plume wants to know our pick for our favorite Jod alias.
I kind of liked Jodwick. That made me laugh when they just screamed out another one.
Honestly, I like Silvo. Like, I think that's a cool pirate name.
Agreed. Captain Silvo. Dash Zenton was close. If it were just Rindar, I would have thought that was very funny.
Do you think Jod, whatever his name is, do you think he's a fan of Dash Rendar? And so he was like, what's close to that?
Yeah. I mean, like, it's the same as Crimson Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's another person entirely that exists in Star Wars. So I was like, they should have just said it. They should have just said Dash Rendar, you cowards.
That's true.
But then that probably would have, I don't think the fandom at large could have handled that. Not as many people know who Crimson Jack is, but if he said, my name is Dash Rendar, people would have thought it was true.
Oh, yeah. Cassia Pipe, thank you for the next super chat. Jod will visit the armorer for a new helmet, and then we get a flashback of him for Order 66, and then
Gotcha.
Which will make him feel bad for the kids too.
Funny. I love that every time you go get armor made by the armorer while she's hammering away, you have to sit and think about your trauma.
Yeah, you have to trauma dump on yourself, I guess. That sounds...
Not again.
Never mind. Jod Lawbreaker. That's a good name.
I'm trying to remember Bob Loblaw. That's it, from Arrested Development.
Yeah. Matthew Byron has another super chat here. Are we visiting any more new planets, or are we unscrambling the final path back to Ad-Aten? Can't say I remember that name.
So...
yeah, we were talking about this earlier, because I was like, it's interesting that we're staying on this planet for a little while longer.
Yeah, I don't think the pirates or the kids are going to be gone by the start of episode 6. I mean, especially not the kids.
Yeah.
The pirates, I mean, maybe Jod will have left, but right now I think the kids it's going to be about how they find their way back to their ship, maybe get it or not. Could be just a race back to the Onyx Cinder. That could be fun.
Yeah, I pointed out that there's a shot in the trailers of Fern climbing up a big ladder, and like the background is the big snowy planet, and you can see that ladder at the base of the landing platform where the ships are. So wherever they get spit out from that trap door, I think they're going to have to try and climb their way back up.
I'm kind of expecting that we will see the crab next week.
Yeah, I like that too.
I think that'll be
being down at the
base
bottom
of the mountain. I kind of hope there's one more planet in episode 7 before we get back to Ad-Aten, but there might not be.
Yeah, I'd be all right if we went straight back to Ad-Aten. We could also see the pirates go somewhere else to like pick up supplies or something.
Oh, hey. Maybe the kids are going to call Kim, and that's how the New Republic gets to Lanupa. It's possible that Lanupa may have just called for help, and then we've seen X-Wings in the trailer. But Kim did say, call me if you ever need me.
We saw X-Wings in the trailer on that planet?
Yeah. There's a shot of Gunther and another pirate looking around on that landing platform, and X-Wings are in the sky.
Oh, I like that.
So they might find a way to call Kim. I don't remember her giving them her business card, but she just said, call me if you need help.
I do like that, because I like the idea of seeing some of these characters come back to help the kids, because as soon as we saw Cathalops, I was like, there's got to be a moment where he comes back in and helps these kids, because that character design just looks so cool.
He wants to see the rest of the story.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe if the kids are getting attacked by a giant crab monster, maybe somehow Cathalops
will return.
Will come and help them. Robert Diaz asks, could Jod be an Inquisitor escapee from Project Harvester?
I mean, maybe. like just a force sensitive kid that went on the run.
Mm.
I think that's possible. He would have had to, regardless of whether or not he was a Jedi or a Padawan, he would have had to go into hiding or keep his powers a secret.
I don't like him being an escaped possible Inquisitor.
No. I think they mean someone the Inquisitors hunted.
Oh, I see.
And he escaped.
Okay.
That's what I'm interpreting that to mean.
Maybe. Wouldn't he have to, I guess, would he have to be on like a list for the Inquisitors to find them?
Yep. That would be Project Harvester.
Right. Matthew Byron says, does SM-33 break the rule that villains have to have British accents in Star Wars?
I don't think they've all had.
So because he has a British accent,
but he's a good guy,
but he's not necessarily a villain.
Rey had a British accent.
Yeah. Or are you saying he is a villain?
Oh, what did I do? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, lots of other Star Wars characters have British accents. I am loving Nick Frost voicing SM-33. And I like that whenever he gets woken up, he's like, what do you want? Oh, you're saying it's curious that he does have a British accent. I don't know that that really means anything. That's not really a solid rule.
That's what I did wrong. Yeah, like there's plenty of characters that had British accents that are not villains in Star Wars.
But are there villains that don't have British accents?
Palpatine?
That's a big one.
I don't think he has a British accent. Dooku?
He's just got a bad guy accent.
They have kind of like posh ways of speaking, but they're not British.
Yeah, Snoke, Vader, Thrawn. Let's see here. Ice has a couple super chats. This is definitely my favorite, and I'm just so impressed at how this show keeps surprising me. I thought this would pick up at Akron. I kind of was hoping that too. But I'm very happy and pleasantly surprised with the planet hopping this show has been doing and the variety that we've been getting.
Oh yeah, I was glad that they just skipped over getting back to the ship.
Well, part of me was like, maybe Neil has one more goodbye with what's her name?
Helena?
Hana? I don't remember her name. But I was like, also, they kind of had a nice goodbye scene. There was the kiss and then the flip.
How are you going to top that?
So, yeah, you can't really
She's like,
that.
now I have to do 2 flips. Ugh.
Ismail has a super chat. Joined late, so sorry if someone already asked something absurd like, but Jod is Corky, Obi-Wan's son. There's too many of them, kid or Qui-Gon's son. Nobody has brought that up yet, so props to you for being the first. No, I don't think he's Corky or Obi-Wan's son or Qui-Gon's son. I don't think he's anybody's son.
No, I think he's just Jod.
Although...
And his job is just pirate.
If any of them were going to have a son, I bet it'd be Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I know
Corky is not Obi-Wan's son.
I know all the theories about Corky being Obi-Wan's son, and I don't believe it. But Qui-Gon was quite the ladies' man, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Ah, crap.
Danimaniac wants to know, what's your favorite joke from the episode? Mine is definitely SM-33 going, aye, aye, Captain, sitting up and breaking the ropes that he was tied with. I did really like that. Like, as if Jod thought he could tie down a droid like that.
Yeah, so funny. Ooh, could be foreshadowing.
Go on.
Jod thought he could control this droid, and he
Mm,
breaks out of his restraints.
yeah.
And he thinks this droid's going to be perfectly loyal to me, just like it was to Fern.
Yeah.
But
I definitely think SM33 will break out of having to follow Jod's orders, because I mean, maybe there's a loophole where it's like, if Jod isn't his real name, he can't be my captain. He hasn't told me his true name yet.
yeah,
I don't know.
it definitely seems like there's some way that Fern can think this through and be like, logically, blah blah blah. I don't
Mhm.
know. I don't know what the logic is, but she could probably convince him who he should really be loyal to.
Yeah.
Best joke though. I really this it's not a joke, but when he is bribing his way into the hotel,
Mm.
Fern comes up and says something, and he turns around and he's like, "What do you want?" And his face looks so stressed. That's just some solid Jude Law comedic acting.
I love when the kids are introduced as the wise elders and they're all just like barely hanging on to their hats and giggling, and that's just really silly.
And I'm glad that did not work. That everyone's just like,
Well,
okay, just give me some credits. And
the security guys were like, step away from the wise elders, and then KB had to ruin it, be like, we're just kids, which was funny. Brad Scanlon, thank you for the super chat. Missed you the last few weeks. Worked overtime at Amazon to ensure all Christmas gifts arrived. I was a bit disappointed with SM33 just suddenly going back to normal. Oh, I guess, yeah, at the start of the episode.
There was a KB had to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it makes sense to me that he was starting to get frazzled because his brain is a mess. That he's like, my last captain told me to rip anyone apart, but he's not my captain anymore. Mm-hmm. So like, once KB rerouted his memory circuits from his like central processor, whatever she said, I was like, okay,
yeah.
So he's not going to get all worked up again.
Yeah.
But that feels like more foreshadowing that we know how he works and that he can kind of turn like that. So maybe KB can undo what she did and get him to attack Jod or something.
Yeah, that's true. Props to you for working at Amazon.
I know.
I feel guilty the amount of stuff I get on Amazon. I should really make that one of my New Year's goals to like not be so reliant on it. Matthew Byron has another super chat. If SM33 was built during the Old Republic, interesting, his eyes don't look more like Hu Yang's. Well, Hu Yang is even older than the Old Republic.
Yep.
He is the second thing in the Star Wars Timelines book, right? Mm-hmm. Like the second or third entry. I think the first one is just like the Jedi are created, and it's like, and we'll fill that out when that movie gets made.
Right. And they power on Hu Yang. Yeah, I mean, like, there are more than one kind of droid eye in the galaxy.
But also, Hu Yang does talk about that he's only like 25% his original parts.
No, I think he proudly says he's like 80% original parts.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's mostly original parts.
Maybe he had to replace his eyes.
Yeah. My eyes
Those are always the first to go.
That makes sense.
I'm the bin dude asks, am I the first one to say kneel before Jod? Oh, wait.
That's great.
I didn't even
That's great.
Get that at first, and then I had to read it out loud, and I was like, oh, I got it.
Kneel before Jod. It works, too, because, yeah, kneel is above Jod.
Yes.
You're the first I've heard say it, and well done.
Ice with another one here. I've just been cackling at the fact that this place changed so much since 33 had been there, and they still kept the same name. Like what?
Still Skull Ridge Mountain.
Yeah, what kind of name is the Skull Ridge Mountain Hotel and Spa? I thought the same thing when she was kind of giving Jod her whole spiel as they were coming in, but I was like, the way she brought up the legend of the pirates stuff, I think that is like a selling point.
Agreed. It's part of the marketing. I
Yeah.
mean, I would go.
Yeah.
Like, you telling me this resort used to be run by pirates? Like, yeah, I want to hang out there.
Mm-hmm. Definitely part of the appeal that like rich people would want to go and check it out. And also, it's like a really fancy, nice spa and resort. So it's perfect. But I did love SM33's reaction to all that because it's just like
food for weaklings.
If you have a favorite dive bar and it gets bought out and revamped and rebuilt into something like fancy and hoity-toity, you're kind of like, oh man, they sold out.
They ruined it.
Bindu sent a super chat, but I don't see a message. Let me check.
Might be a sticker or...
Oh boy. No. Oh wait, what's this? No.
You might have to scroll back up in chat.
All right.
If it were a sticker or something.
Bindu, if you're still in chat, send me your message. Or I can scroll up a little bit and try to find it. Ice also says, honestly, I love that Pocket had a Northern Irish or heavy Scottish accent. They were not trying to mask that at all. I love it when they do that.
I loved her voice. I really, really liked Pocket.
Oh, yeah. 09 just says, Cyril Karn erasure. Am I to assume that that's from our conversation about villains and accents?
Maybe. I keep messing up like hard to reach pieces.
How big is this set compared to some of our other ones?
It's probably about this big. I don't think it's huge.
Yeah. Ice has 2 more. What kind of hazard pay does that come with? I forget what that was referring to.
What was his last message?
I forget. Or what kind of hazard pay does that come with?
What was the one before that?
I don't know.
Oh.
It's gone now because I unstarted it. I could scroll back and find it. I think it's so funny how they keep putting these kids around so many adult situations and terms. I did a double take when SM33 was recalling what happened in the crew to the crew and was like, he's wait, his what stabbed him? Oh, the concubine thing. What's a concubine?
I like Jod laughing at it and being like, oh, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Bendu's message was the pirate Jedi vibe and using a bunch of false names is giving Ezra Bridger, and I love it. That's true. You mean Jabba?
Yeah. I think, I mean, there's a chance that Jod and Ezra could meet, and then they could meet Hondo, and they could all be best friends.
I would love that. Shruggable, thank you for the super chat. I don't have anything real to say or ask. I've been watching for a few years and just wanted to say hello. That's okay. Hello.
Shruggable.
Thank you for
fun name.
your message. We appreciate you watching. Ooh, this one's fun. Rainer Bless says Fern might challenge Jod at a bad moment for him.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fun if he like lost a battle to a child in front of the rest of his pirates.
SM33 should tie him up, and then Fern should challenge him.
What do you think about, we've discussed this possibility before, but now that Wim has held a lightsaber, do you think there's a chance for him to use the Force at any point?
Wim?
Mm-hmm.
No. I don't want there to be. I guess there's always a chance. But
that was my, like, if they were to do a second season, I think it would be fun to learn that he potentially could, and then there'd be like seasons worth of teaching someone how to use the Force instead of Sabine learning to do it pretty quickly. I think that would be a cool way to do that story.
Ice says he was talking about the hut, like what kind of hazard pay the people
get eaten
for having to serve the hut.
Why would you have such a tiny little man serve food to a hut?
That's true. Like, well, did we see any other attendants? We saw a lot of security, and they were all kind of human.
Just saying. And you know the hut's going to do that.
And Cathalop was like, you don't
smell
like an attendant. Maybe all the attendants are that species. Which I'm glad we got to see another one of those species, because that was like a new species for Last Jedi. Everyone's tiny compared to a hut. You think he wouldn't just gobble up a full-grown man either?
Not that easily.
That would be a lot hard. That would be like a snake having to unhinge its jaw.
I mean, like a human could fit in there, but make the hut work to murder.
Right. Can the challenger determine the nature of the challenge? I quote, I challenge you at shoelace tying.
Or a hover bike race.
Or a hover bike race.
We had the same idea at the same time.
My God. That would be amazing.
That'd be so funny.
Because, like, we had talked about if she is going to make it back to Ad-Atten in time to race that other little turd. So it would be really funny. Oh, Jared said slap ball.
Oh, yeah, make Neil. And they have a slap ball on the ship.
That's pretty great.
I feel like that's a little maybe too silly for the show to do, but I love it.
I think it's kind of funny because it's like you watch this show and you're like, well, yeah, in a duel, in a physical fight, there's no chance that any of these kids are winning against a full-grown man with Force abilities and now a lightsaber. It
does seem like a loophole that SM33 would be like, yeah, that they get to name the nature of the challenge.
Bendu says, what would be more 80s Star Wars than a dirt bike race in space?
I mean, that's super fun.
Yeah, I like that.
The Force might help him too much in a slap ball race. Or slap ball competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on team hover bike race. And seeing him on like Wim's bike with the tassels.
Oh yeah. They're like, I got a bike for you. Because yeah, that bike is on the ship, isn't it?
So we watched episode 1 yesterday, and I don't remember them taking the bikes inside.
They do.
They run out and shut the lights off. I don't remember them pulling the bike in.
I think they say like our bikes or something like that.
And they run out. The lights on the bikes are on, and Fern runs out and turns them off.
Well, you're just being a huge bummer right now.
I was looking yesterday. That the prop fairy may have taken the bikes on. I'm just saying we were watching it yesterday, and I was specifically like, "Ooh, are the bikes on the ship?" And
I bet they are.
Sorry, I'm a bummer.
Jordan White says, huge longtime fan, first ever super chat. What if the big twist with SM33 is the captain slash ordered to look for the treasure and is manipulating everyone? Oh, the SM33 is the captain. I've seen a couple people talk about that. I don't know. The way he talks about the captain and like killing the whole crew. It's possible, I guess.
You're not the Jordan White that used to work at Marvel, are you?
Who's that?
Marvel Comics, still a comics editor, I believe.
Oh, I gotcha.
If so, I'm a big fan too. But yeah, I kind of agree that I think SM33 is like the first mate. Well, not the first mate, because he said, wait, hold on now. He said the first mate went mad with greed and stabbed the captain. But I thought that the descriptions for characters coming into Skeleton Crew was the SM33. No, he's the bosun. Sorry.
What's a bosun?
I don't really know. I'm okay. Never mind. I was like, wait, did he kill the captain? But never mind.
Well, what was it that SM33 was holding on to when they found him?
The lever that closed the door.
It was just for the door,
I think. Or it may have been some kind of power. He moved, the lever moved, and the door closed.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of like I don't want to think too much about it because I want to be surprised.
I don't think he was the captain.
But it does make it funnier if he were. All of his reactions to everything on Lanupa.
Yeah.
He's like,
my base.
The captain would hate this. Matthew asks if they can ask a non-related Skeleton Crew question since this is also a LEGO live stream. Of course, you can ask anything. And then Ice has another super chat. I really hope Cathalops comes back somehow. Me too. That was a peak character reveal and moment. Such a chill guy. He'd be great to have him on the crew, especially with that wrecking ball tail for doors. I know, that would come in handy.
I don't know that he could fit on the Onyx Cinder.
Maybe not.
Maybe he can like squeeze into tight spaces.
Yeah.
Like jelly.
Like jelly. Maybe he shrinks down when he's not actively
maybe
soaking up water.
Yeah.
That would be funny. I'm here to help, and he's tiny.
Little arms.
This episode also felt so Indiana Jones. The laser decapitation trap literally made me quote, "Only the penitent man will pass." And the treasure room reminded me of a similar room in Crystal Skull. Yeah, when they're like walking through, I kept thinking about the Hebrew alphabet or the whatever alphabet he has to know. Very indie with the traps and everything.
Or Latin. He has to know the Latin spelling for Jehovah, I think.
Yeah. Okay, this one's fun from Matthew. Molly, if there's a Star Wars themed runway on RuPaul's Drag Race, what would you like to see strut down the runway? Star Wars themed runway. Honestly, I think Ventress could really eat up the runway. I would love to see her in like a huge ornate costume piece. What else? Something with like extra arms would be cool.
That harp player from the latest episode.
Was that the same species as the pod racer?
Oh, maybe.
Team Toe. Is it Team Toe?
No, Gascano.
Gascano, yeah.
That'd be fun. I didn't take a close look.
I think it was because I was like, okay, they have 4 arms, but they're real skinny. I couldn't see her head really clearly though. What do you think? Who would you want to see do like a runway look for Drag Race?
I'd like I mean, it's close to Asajj since she is Dathomirian, but like a Maul, a Zabrak look would be fun. Or maybe just a like a Padme, just something really ornate that you could do like a quick change out of.
Yeah, Matthew Byron said, I couldn't come for Natalie Portman's costume designer. She would leave no crumbs. It's true.
Oh, put that on backwards. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I think, what's his name? My mind is totally blanking. The guy.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
Just name the show or
Well, it's from episode 2. The big bald guy.
of Skeleton Crew or
No, the movie.
oh,
Attack of the Clones.
yeah. Not Sly
10th
Moore.
floor.
Oh,
Thousands
no.
of them.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith, sorry.
Tion Medon.
Tion Medon, thank
Yeah,
you.
his high collar.
Y'all, the days between Christmas and New Year's, we shouldn't have to be using our brains because they are not ready to be used anymore. I've used up all of my brain power for the year, and it's going to reset maybe on the 2nd.
Not on the 1st.
Not on the 1st. Yeah, Tion Medon would slay. Like any
that.
look.
Sly Moore has a high collar too.
Yeah, Sly Moore would do well. But I like that question. Jose asked how you like the new indie game. He hasn't played it.
I don't think my PC will be able to handle it, but I have a friend who says his PC is doing okay, and it's not like top of the line. My PC is 5 years old. So I'm like, I was looking at the specs and I was like, ooh, I'm skeptical.
That feels like a game that you would enjoy more if you could play it downstairs on the PlayStation.
Also that. So I don't have an Xbox. So I'm probably going to wait until it is out on PlayStation, but I've heard from that friend and several other people and reading reviews online just the best things, that it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't play it right now with Skeleton Crew anyway. Like, I don't think I'd have the time. So it's going to come out in spring. I'll get it then. That's not too bad of a wait, and I'll play it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
But I am excited. I'm very glad that it got good reviews.
I'm curious about it too. And I've heard a lot of good things from our friend Kelly Knox, has tweeted about it a lot. So I wouldn't mind watching you play, or I don't know if I would play any of it. Oh, you do get extra stuff if you take pictures of stray cats.
Great. I'll do it.
Perfection.
Yeah, people have said it's just like a long indie movie and that it's great. Yeah. So I'm psyched. I'm on board. Just I need it on PlayStation.
Yeah. Ice points out that the next episode of Skeleton Crew is directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, which I do remember them putting out a list, and she had episode 6. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she's got in store for us.
I am just about done with this bag, and then we can go cook some dinner and
keep enjoying our holiday break that we're getting. We'll take a break after Skeleton Crew. It's fine.
Oh, but look,
Neil.
No, gotta wait until next week.
Well, Nate, I'm fine to wait, or I'll just come up here and dig him out of the bag myself. All right. Well, you're all set with that. We will have the Lego cam back up and running next week, hopefully.
Yeah, I can't do that on StreamYard, I don't think, but
Or what are we doing for the stream next week?
I don't know. I don't know which day we're going to do it, or with who, or if we have a guest, or I don't know.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out.
The shows coming out during the holidays is rough. But that's going to be it for us this week. This is what it looks like.
There it is.
Doesn't look like much yet, but it's getting there.
It looks more like the ship than the Java, the sail barge does so far.
Oh yeah, because that's just like the base. But yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying this weird void time that's happening now between Christmas and New Year's. And I posted this on my Instagram. It was like a meme or something, but it was like, this is the time period where you just should do nothing, don't aspire to be anything. And then they eventually say, like, you should just morph into the couch.
Yeah.
So let's all aspire to do that.
We're going to go cook and morph into the couch.
Yeah.
And watch something. I don't know what.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with the weird schedule with the holidays and everything. And I'm happy that some of you mentioned that you couldn't make it on Wednesdays, and so you were able to come today. That's awesome.
I just remembered, though, before we go, we forgot to share the sketches.
I don't know how to do that from this setup. Yeah, we did get some skeleton sketches sent in to us, so I just click on these.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. We've got this one. Oh.
I'm glad I showed mine first.
I haven't seen this one from Batfet. That is a great drawing of a hut.
Way better than mine.
That's awesome. Oh, wow. That looks just like mine, only maybe a little bit better. Obi-Stan
It
Kenobi.
does look almost the same.
That is wild. Well, we can't see it now, but I'm just looking at my drawing. That is pretty impressive. Go us. That looks great. And then this one's not a drawing per se, but it is a really cool picture. Why is that?
Because they uploaded a PNG.
Oh, I thought you were going to take like a screenshot of their
It's from
tweet.
Instagram, but this looked better. He uploaded like 4 images of it, and it was better to just have one big one.
Okay. Well, someone made
Instagram
made a Lego lightsaber from the episodes. That's really cool. But yeah.
Did that fast.
I know, that's crazy. But if you guys have any fun sketches that you want to send in, just tag us in them on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. And then we will hopefully remember to show them off next time.
Our schedule's all messed up because we didn't have a guest and we were just flying by the seat of our pants.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, brain power has all gone. It's all been
it's
used
all
up.
Gone.
That's all good.
All good.
This all
This
good.
good.
All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.